You hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence keeps this channel ad-free. Hey folks, what's up? This is Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and this is a new product from Dan Keller over at Good Made Better. This is the Writewell writing desk. It is a desk on my desk, and so I'm just coming to you from this is just my raw desk here. I don't usually do as wide a shot as this because you'll see all my stuff, pens and pencils and whatnot up here. This is because I ate a bag of chips and I just kept the clip. Look, man, this is just my desk. So I haven't even finished my coffee this morning, but I wanted to start talking about this because I was using this just today and I was like, I really like this. Let's get this on the channel. So just to give you a little bit of background and stuff about my history with Good Made Better, this is the first thing that we got from Good Made Better. Audrey found this at the Colorado Pen Show. At least 5 years ago, something like that, 2016, 2017, I think. And this is the original Penwell in also walnut. And I think the finishing on this is actually nicer than the finishing on this one. Dan has just gotten better over time, obviously. And it has an early version of the insert, the foam insert here. It's got the micro suction pad here. I've had this on my desk for a long time. I actually just ripped it free just for this review. And this micro suction pad's still totally working. These are suction pads, essentially, and not just a sticky thing. So you can just clean it off, let it dry, and it'll stick to stuff again. After 5 years, still kicking. But this is something I use all the time. I just ripped it free to show y'all. My favorite thing that he's made until now has been the Penwell Craftsman. This is a thing I use literally every day. It is a Penwell, which means that it turns every pen into a desk pen. So this sits on your desk. It is quite heavy between the cement and the brass. This is like a pound of stuff. And you just put your pen cap in there, you unscrew your pen, and you can just write some stuff, pop it back in there. You don't have to go through all the turns of a pen like this one from my friend Ryan Krusak, which is a gorgeous pen, but has many, many threads and takes a while to, to recap and uncap every time you want to write something. So it just kind of sits like that, uncapped for the day or the session or whenever I'm working. And I love that. And I can move it around. It's not stuck down like the original one. This is a thing that you will have seen on my Twitch streams if you have been over there. If you haven't, check out my Twitch streams. Sometimes I do writing over there. I prepare reviews, all that jazz. This is the book. The Bookfellow is what this thing is called, and this is a great book weight right here. It's got a pound of copper or something in there with my initial engraved in it. It has these little rubber bits on the bottom. It is curved, so it fits over the curve of a book. It'll smash down your journal if your journal doesn't lay flat. You can prop things up on here if you're doing transcription, which I do a lot of. It's just a great product. So this is something I saw at DC at Dan's table. I'm like, what is this? Tell me all about this thing. And so we get to the Writewell. Let's get into this thing right here. This is actually kind of a tricked out version. It seems I went to the Kickstarter page. I was looking through the options and all that sort of thing. And this is kind of tricked out. So this is a desk on your desk or a desk on your lap. Dan said he uses it as a lap desk. I didn't think it was going to be comfortable for that, frankly, but it actually is. Sometimes I don't sit at my desk and do work. Sometimes I sit on a couch, or sometimes I sit on that chair that's behind me that you see in live streams. And this actually works really well as a lap desk. So let's take a look at it more closely. We have here a beautiful slab of walnut joinery here. It is very nicely finished, really pretty looking. On the back, another big old chunk of walnut that serves as a prop, gives you an angle to your writing surface, which I was like, I don't know, do I need that? You know what? This is actually great. I use it when I do my my journaling at night, or when I'm writing letters and that sort of thing, and it feels really good. This big piece of walnut here, now this is all natural wood, and that means that if you are in conditions that are the temperature fluctuates wildly or it gets very humid or something, this could possibly warp. And so Dan said that he's going to start supplying little felt feet that you can put on here, which will solve any wobble that you get. And I noticed that I do have a wobble. Now, here's the thing about that wobble. That's my desk and not this thing. So I put it down. I was like, oh no. And so I went looking for a level, and I can't find my level anywhere. And so I took it out to my kitchen, which has what I'm almost entirely sure is a flat surface. And this is rock steady. And then if you put a pen down on my desk, like this little rolly one. Yeah. it just goes. Because my desk is warped. I always knew it was a little bit uneven, but it's also kind of warped. So, you know, that's on IKEA and not on Dan Keller, who does better work than IKEA. Down here at the bottom, there is a lip that you can get as an option. These can be either in walnut or, as this one is, in brass. You can see it started to patina a bit here. Like, you can see my fingerprints are patinaing it, and it's going to like just get darker over time and more patina-y. And I really like that. Of course, if you don't, you can always polish it up. It is just a strip of brass. But it is, somebody asked me on one of the streams whether it was like cut into you, and no, it's got like a nice little like chamfer on this thing. It's actually very comfortable because you will put your hand on it when you're writing, and that doesn't bother me at all. And I really thought it would, but I never even noticed it until somebody asked, and it is very nice. Up here at the top, you'll see there are these little brass pins. These are actually not pins. These are plugs that cover screws in here. It just makes it look a lot better. And these are all smoothed off even with the surface. These are all totally flat. It's great. Up here in the corner, you'll see the Good Made Better stamp. There we go. That's the only branding on here, and I love that. I love like very subtle or missing branding. You have here 2 Penwells. It will always come with one, and it can either be left-handed or right-handed or left-handed, where those Penwells are. And these work just the same as this one over here. You can put your pens in there. You can put a pencil in there if you wanted to, or whatever you feel like putting in there. Also, ink sample vials, it turns out, will fit in these holes, which is really nice if you want to do... you know, if you're, I don't know, I want to do a dip pen situation, and so I just like put my little ink vial there and kind of dip my pen in there and keep writing. That's the thing you can totally do. I hadn't thought about that, but thank you, Twitter users, for asking me that question. So, yeah, this works just as well as you would expect from other Penwells. I have here a regular and an extra large hole, and the extra large hole, like, it'll hold smaller pens like this one, just like this will, but not... like you have to push it in deeper, but it'll totally do it. It's tapered at the bottom, but it'll also hold larger things. So whoa, like this TWSBI, yeah, no problem there. What else have I got that's kind of big? Here we go. This is a Pilot Custom 845, and it fits in there just as well. Just no problem at all, and you can unscrew that and, you know, do your writing and that sort of thing. So yeah, it'll hold some fairly large pens with no problem at all, which is a very nice feature. You have a lot of versatility there. Also up here, you'll see there is this big notch. This is also an option, and this will fit the thing that he calls the curiously heavy book weight, which I don't have, but I will put a picture up here of what that looks like. It is essentially, I think, the same as my Bookfellow, except it looks different and it's a bit less expensive. It's all encased in wood and such, but that will also fit up here in this notch if you want, or you can just throw your, you know, your pencils and markers and stuff in there that you might also be using, or your highlighters, or I don't know, some chapstick, because it's winter and sometimes I need some chapstick, right? So you can throw whatever you want up in there and it'll hold it, which is nice because this is at an angle. I'm knocking everything over, and everything would kind of roll away otherwise, but this is a very nice addition. So there you go. There are the kind of features and that sort of thing here that you can get. There is one other thing that I will attach right quick and show you, and this is what's called the Reader's Kit. And this is a really interesting, apparatus. Now, this is the prototype, and I think the actual Reader's Kit is going to be a little bit different from this one. So he wanted to have a thinner piece of plexi and that sort of thing. So this goes in these slots and holes, as you may have noticed up here. You just kind of slot this in here. I can't see it because I'm on camera. There we go. It's hard to do when you can't see it. And then you poke this into these little holes, and voila, you have a thing that will hold books and such. Now, on my small desk here, I have this big shelf here, which takes up a lot of room, and so I can't really put a book in here on my desk. You can put, you know, your iPad or whatever there if you like, and it will hold it very nicely, which is pretty cool. If you're a person that transcribes from like an iPad, which I have been tempted to do a couple of times, I know some people do, but you can also stick your books in there of whatever size. You stick it in like this. Let me grab a book. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Well, here, we'll just use my planner. And you can adjust for the width of the book. I've actually put some pretty big hardcovers in here, no problem. Just by putting it in there and then scooching in the brass bit, and it'll hold whatever size book you like right there in front of you, so you can, you know, do your writing or have your planner up here and be doing, you know, whatever work you do with that kind of stuff. So yeah, very, very convenient set of options on this book, this Writewell rather, and I really like it. Now, some folks have asked me in the past about whether the foam in here, this little foam insert, that you get in the Penwells will break down. They're like, well, that's going to break down over time, and then what are you going to do? Well, my answer is, if it breaks down over time, and look, we're all breaking down over time, this is the same thing from 5 years ago. In constant use. It has, as far as I can tell, changed not even a little bit. So I'm not terribly worried about that, is my answer. So, like, you know, you'll get many, many years out of these foam inserts, and they're nice and soft. So they're not gonna ruin your pen or anything like that. I've put all kinds of pens in these things with absolutely no problem at all. The other thing that somebody asked was whether this was flat or not, like what texture it had, because it is wood, and so it might not be perfectly smooth, but this is very, very smooth. And so I grabbed, this is a piece of Tomoe River paper, very thin stuff, and this is a Blackwing matte, which has the soft core. It's actually the softest core I have here in a pencil. Let's use some scribbly stuff here to demonstrate the texture. Let me make sure I'm going right across the joinery line there, and yeah, nothing. There's no problem there at all. You can absolutely write on this with no problem. I tend to use this with notebooks more than single sheets of paper, but I mean, as you can see, there are no bumps or glitches. There's no feeling to these seams at all, and the wood grain itself is very smooth. Although there is, like, I mean, I guess a little bit of texture I can kind of feel, but where do you feel some? There's a little bit of texture right here. Let's see if I can. See if that'll show up. I feel like I'm in a I don't know, graveyard doing this on headstones, which apparently don't do because it'll ruin the headstones over time. But yeah, even that, nothing at all. So yeah, this is very, very smooth. You can absolutely write on it. It's not hard like metal. It's got a little bit of, I don't know, it's a natural material, and so I don't feel like it's a problem to write on it at all. I got a little ballpoint action. Oops. Oh, this I forgot this one's actually running out of ink. Let's try use a marker. Oh man. Yeah, gorgeous. No problems at all. You can absolutely write on it with a fountain pen. I've had no glitches or anything like that on here. What? There we go. I think I had my hand oil there from when I was leaving my hand. That's better. Yeah. There we go. And yeah, no problems at all. So very smooth, very nice to write on. No issues whatsoever. I dig it. So the only con or drawback about this that I can think of is that it is a bit of a luxury product. It does start the base model at $179 on this Kickstarter, and that is with single Penwell and without the like notch and the book thing and the lip down here at the bottom. Now you don't really need those things, although I think the lip is really something you ought to have, and I love this, but I mean, that is a little bit of a premium, and then there's shipping on top of that because this is not light. This is a big old chunk of walnut with like brass stuff in it. It is not light. So that said, it did ship to me from South Dakota with no problems. So it is kind of expensive to ship. So you're looking at about $200. So this is a bit of a luxury item, but it also feels like a luxury item to me, and that's fine, right? This is made by one guy in his shop doing beautiful woodworking in like small town South Dakota, and I like that, and I like the usefulness that I get out of this and the joy that I get from seeing something this pretty on my desk. So I think for me it's worth it. I didn't pay for this one, but I woulda. I think this is fantastic. And yes, I already have a desk, but now I have like a nice slanty desk on my desk that is much more comfortable to write on and, like, frankly, makes me happy. So look, can you put a price on joy and usefulness? I don't know, probably, but I think this is not outlandish. So there you go. That's it. That's the Writewell. And the Bookfellow and the Craftsman. Like, look, I use a lot of these products on a daily basis, and I think they're all fantastic. So thanks very much for watching, and you know, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. You've gotten this far already. Go say hi to Dan over at goodmadebetter.com, and you know, that's it. I'll you know, you'll see me in another video soon. That's it. Peace out.